Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's see what's in store for you. What is the theme for the Scorpios watching right now? Beauty. I love that. Yeah, so there's a few things coming from this card. One is seeing life in a more beautiful way, trying to find the little beauty in everything, right? Trying to see the bigger picture, trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, just trying to find the little beautiful moments throughout the day. Very mindful energy here. I'm also feeling like you're trying to make yourself more beautiful, like whatever you feel is beautiful. So it's like you're trying to not make yourself, but how can I say this? It's like you're believing in the beauty of yourself more and more each day. So you're getting really comfortable with your body image or how you feel when you look in the mirror. You don't hate yourself anymore. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing about you that you don't like, and it's fantastic. I love that. Just high self-esteem, high confidence this week, which leads me to my third thing that I'm seeing. There are transformative, because I'm seeing like almost like the clover for if this was a Lenormand reading, which I haven't done a Lenormand reading in a long time on the channel, but just lucky breaks, lucky breakthroughs, transformative breakthroughs coming from a place of high confidence and high self-esteem. All right. So get ready for that because you're very attractive this week, Scorpio. So lucrative opportunities is what I want to say. A chance to shine. The challenge that we have coming up is the mirror. Other lives, past lives, dimensional lives. It's so funny because I said looking in the mirror and not hating yourself. So I think that the challenge, apparently it's karmic in nature. There's something that could maybe that's why it's a breakthrough. Maybe you're breaking through the karma. So you could be looking into other lives, past lives, dimensional lives. If you don't believe in that, or if that doesn't resonate for you, that's fine. So we could take this on in a metaphorical sense too, right? Because other lives, because the life that you live at work is different than the life that you live at home, right? Unless you work from home or whatever. But like if you're self-employed, then it's likely going to be very similar. But still, you get what I'm saying, right? Like who you present yourself as a boss, it's going to be different than the way that you present yourself as a parent, or the way that you present yourself as a best friend is different than the way that you present yourself as a coworker, right? These are still other lives. We're always playing different versions of ourselves. And I'm getting a sense of that, most importantly. Like that's becoming a challenge. I don't know if it's like because you're trying to be more authentic with yourself and happy with that authenticity. And I feel like maybe it's causing like friction or tension or stress, because you don't want to be all these different versions of yourself. You want to consolidate these versions of yourself, or you want to be more real, if that makes sense. You feel like you're living two different lives somewhere, and it's not making you happy for sure. Yeah, exactly. What did I just say? I think that you're ending a cycle where you've had to be this version of yourself or just lie about who you are, or, I'm just getting a sense of like you don't want to regret not doing things that feel authentic. At the end of the day, you don't want to miss out. And I think that you're starting to contemplate or question where the truth isn't being highlighted, which is I'm not surprised to see that for you as a Scorpio, right? You have that natural tendency of psychological penetration that comes with being ruled by Scorpio and traditionally Mars. Being ruled by Pluto and traditionally Mars is what I try to say. So I think that you are seeking the truth of self, seeking the truth of others, and then trying to just come from a place of truth in every aspect of your life, at work, at home, in relationships, when it comes to love, in family dynamics, and I already said home, right? So the transformation, again, lucrative. You might not see them right away. That's the thing, because I'm definitely going back to like these breakthroughs that you might be having where the self transforms. And they're breakthroughs that happen even on an unconscious or subconscious level, on a very, very deep level, Scorpio. You are going very, very deep. I do also think that you're losing patience. You don't want lies anymore. You don't want manipulation. You don't want to surround yourself with anything fake, unreal, anything that doesn't make sense, anything that's a facade, anything that's wearing a mask. You don't want to associate yourself with those things anymore. And you're having to make quite a few choices. You're having to really look at several aspects and make maybe some quick decisions, but try to have a little patience and understanding, especially with self. But as far as because there are seasons and cycles to everything, right? There's a time and a place for everything. There's a meaning for everything. And maybe that's why the mirror is here, to kind of remind you of the fact that, like, it might not make sense or it might not relate to this current lifetime as much as it would another lifetime, or it might benefit or make sense for your work version, but it doesn't make sense for your home version. Everybody's getting 2 cards this week. It's the 5 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. A lot of people are getting that. I think that you're breaking out of I think that you're breaking out of the norm. You might be looking at, like, literally past lives, alchemy, spiritual texts, religious texts. Maybe you're looking at, or maybe you're looking to a spiritual guru, a teacher, finding wisdom in ancient knowledge of a spiritual nature. Okay, but yeah, keep doing what you're doing, right? Like, keep following your dreams, your passions, what you think is beautiful. I think that you're going to see the truth of a situation that looked loving, it looked peaceful, it looked enticing. This is like waking up out of a bad dream and or a good dream, and then realizing it was a bad dream. That it wasn't. It's just waking up. I think that you're waking up emotionally. I think that this also taught you how to be a little bit more, I don't want to say cautious, but a little bit more reserved when it comes to who you let into your heart space. You don't wear your heart on your sleeve. And that's not a bad thing. I think you're just trying to protect yourself from loss or from grief. Because for a long time you were stuck in grief, and it wasn't easy to find the beauty in life, and now you're finding the beauty in life. Don't forget to try different things, like to not leave any stone unturned. If there's an opportunity, go for it, because you never know where it's gonna lead. And it might be more resourceful than you think. Like, something could be more abundant and more resourceful than it first looks like. Now, there is the energy of death around the Eight of Swords, which I like because that's telling me that in an overall energy, but at some point this week you're gonna feel like you can let go, like you can surrender, like you can say goodbye, um, like you can finally mourn it, grieve it, and move on from something that has felt like an entrapment, that has felt like it's weird. I keep seeing like this Venus flytrap, and I'm going back to this card that I call the Venus flytrap woman by a deck, or from a deck by Ciro Marchetti. So I call her the Venus flytrap woman. So it's like getting free from a temptation, an addiction, something that has kept you, or someone maybe that's kept you kind of wrapped up, kept you stuck. The ending of that is here, and there's a brand new, fresh, much more peaceful beginning. I think that you're going to make the decision to surrender, let go, and say goodbye. Maybe in a way that's not so obvious to other people, or like you're not going to publicly say that you're going to do it, or you're going to dip, and it's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's not a bad thing to just dip, especially if it's affecting your mental health or anything like that. You don't have to tell anybody, like you don't owe anybody an explanation, because you're choosing self-love and self-peace, okay? You're choosing peace. All right, Scorpio, I hope that helped. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.